Yes, yes, yes. How are you going this stuff? Everything okay?
Nothing else. Oh, there's a picture, there's just
It's video.
See, I know.
You're pro, right?
You
No,
try,
we're
you
not
try
doing that.
that.
We ain't doing that one, eh? We ain't doing that one.
I know the tricks.
Say what you remember about pro.
All right. Good night. My name is Dean Hollis. I've known Professor Ken Fillmore from school. I attended the Pleasantville Senior Comprehensive School. He taught me pan. My first pan I played was the cello. We went on to play in the school festivals, several school festivals. After that, he encouraged me to come to the VAT-19 in Fonclaire and play pan. My first I played pan with VAT-19 in Fonclaire was at I think it was Far Down Below. It was a Len Buxy Sharp composition. And that is when things started to heat up. And then after, in 1990, when he made his own composition of Pan by Storm. And that is when things really got nice. I think Ken Professor Philmore, he's a great soul. He has touched the lives of many, and as you can see behind me, there's a multitude of people from all walks of life. I just saw the former president of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Ms. June Yule Williams, I saw here a while ago, and many notable persons in San Fernando and Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, yeah. So that alone could tell you that this man, Ken Professor Philmore, he was a great man, a great soul, a great arranger. He's one of the best I've seen. God rest his soul.
Who are some of the guys who played with you on the pro?
I could remember Wentworth Richardson, Curtis Sleepy Marcel, his brother, who we refer to as Not Pogo Stick, Arlene Webb from Pleasantville, her brother, Ansel Webb, Roger Charles. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. Blower as well, Sheppy, Koki. It's a lot, and most of these guys went on to really prove themselves as great pannists. Yeah, some are all over the world, and that's good, and that's a mentor. Professor Ken Fillmore was really a mentor. He was a shining star. He was a beacon for all of us. I mean, he's fantastic. He was fantastic, and God rest his soul. Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care, man.
And this was one of my students who was a member of the band at Pleasantville Senior. Hey, cheers.
Just, I don't like this.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hatim Lala. I have been a member of the Fonclaire Steel Orchestra for 52 years. So I know Pro from the first day he came in. But more than that, Pro is a friend of the family. Pro family and my family, we spend most of the Christmas day together. He will come down with his wife, his mother-in-law, his daughter, and we will have a good few hours. We are more friends out of the pan than in the pan. And I am telling anybody, I miss a good soul there. I watch me. I didn't know my heart was so good. Because my wife used to be watching me over the last couple of days like a hawk, you know, because she knew how I feel in that. But I want everybody to know the nice fella, the nice guy, Ken Professor Fillmore is. Ken is a guy that he knows no boundary with nobody. From the vagrant on the street to the presidents and princesses of different lands, to anybody. Pro is a simple, easygoing man. You know what that guy told me already? He said he was in New York, and he and Pro was walking down the road, and this homeless man asked, begging for a meal, and Pro went in one of the places and buy a meal. The man said, Pro, why you do that? He said, watch me, that man is a man, just like you and I, you know. He just have a little less unfortunate circumstances. That is the kind of fella Pro was. Pro will never leave nobody unattended. You know how many of these young pannists, especially passing through this band, Pro have them gainfully employed on the outside world because he let them know, pan, if you love pan is a jealous thing. You have to devote your time and your energy and you will reach somewhere with the pan. But I can't go on this much longer because I started to full up, but I will tell anybody in the whole world, once you had known Professor, whether for 5 minutes or 40 years that I have known him, hey, you won't know the difference, and I won't know the difference, because he will get the same way with you and the same way with me. I don't want to go into the night before this accident. He was with my nieces and them. He played in a little fete on Drayton Street, and then he went into the greens and they were liming. So you know, when they heard that Monday morning about this accident, they were devastated. And all of them was calling me because you know why? They know how close me and the family are. We're real close. And I want to tell anybody today that this country has lost a real, not only a pan icon, you know. We lost a real human being. We lost a man with class, a man who could dine with kings and presidents and still sit down with you on the coffee at the side of the road. First, that fellow was the same way. I want to wish his family, Sophie and Kennedy, and the rest of his family, all the best. I want to let them know that my family will be always there for them. And I want to tell them that, Sophie, we know, every day I used to be in contact with Sophie, notwithstanding what people see, eh? And every day we're in contact, and she'll be telling me, she say, boy, Hatim boy, real mash up, you know. One lungs disintegrate, the other one puncture, liver mash up, diaphragm mash up. Say, but she was in full praises for the medical staff at the San Fernando Hospital. So those experts came in and they worked their heart out. But all of them tell her the same thing. He's too weak. He never regained consciousness, so she couldn't really tell him anything to the end. She's a strong woman. Her daughter is a strong young lady. And I have no doubt that they will make it after God, because they believe that God did the correct thing. Because when they told her the night before he passed away, when they say, Sophie, Mrs. Philmore, even if by a miracle he could walk out of here, he will never be professor. He will never have that energy. He will never have that drive, and that he will grieve to death. So God knows best. And I say, God knows best. And I want to thank every one of Pro friends who I know. If you have 9,000 friends here, 8,999 feel it deep down in their heart. I alone have feel it. He was a winner. Professor Fillmore, Lord, take care of him. Take care of him for me, please. I know he is in good hands. So I want to thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to say these few words, because I tell anybody that I don't know if I ever had a friend as famous as Professor. And yet, when I introduce him to my neighbors and them when he come for the Christmas, that's Professor? So cool and nice. You know what I mean? The shock that, hey, ordinary guy, beautiful guy, love him, love his family, love all of TNT. I know we love him. All Panman regardless. If somebody has something to say, that air 100% complimentary, it will be 99%. It's not going less under that. And we today will celebrate his life in a way that we know best. We as Fonclaire people, we know that regardless of wherever he go, his heart truly belongs to this band. And we will always cherish him. We will go so far as to dedicate 2019 Panorama to Ken Professor Fillmore. Thank you very much, Mr. Clifton. Thanks a lot.
Hi, good day. My name is Elton J.W. Bain. And the J.W. now means right now just wishing the man was around. I'm the former chairman of Panchabago South Central. And Clifton, I can say accept our sympathies, because this is for all of us, a son of the soil, a son of the area, a son of the country, a legend in Pan, gone, and will never ever be forgotten. A most affable, beside the talent, was a most affable person, a loving man, the talented, we love all about. Everybody will miss him. May he rise to the preferred venue after life. May God bless him. Rest in peace.
Thank you, sir. Where's she going? Where's she going? Where's camera? I'm coming. More or less. You want to give some reflections on Pro?
You're good?
Tell me what you remember about Pro now.
Huh? Let's talk to Jenny.
Jenny, tell me what you remember about Professor. Hold this. Introduce yourself first.
Yes, well, I am Jennifer Hollis, and Professor is my cousin. And
wow.
Yes, he's my cousin.
Royalty in the house.
Yes, we are cousins. And, you know, I always admire him because he's a likable person. Yes. He always with his pan, you know, and he has love in him. Every time he see his cousin, love, oh, you go in, this is my family, you know. So he was a real lover. He was a real lover boy. And we will really miss him. We will really miss him. Yeah, so, you know, we hope that he rests in peace and we will meet someday. With his pan stick, of course.
No rushing.
No. We're not rushing that at all. But rest in peace, Pro. We will miss you. All right.
Okay, thank you very much. You want to buy a car hide, you know? Number one person. Oi!
Well, let him come here. Come. I am Trisha Webb, and this is my husband, Ansel Webb, also known in Fonclaire. I have known Ken through my husband, and everything I know of Ken is all about love. Every time I think about him, I remember him saying, you know, it's all about our love, I love you. It's always about our love. And his spirit was always one of jubilation. No matter, as I was saying today, if he's upset, you will see him upset, and then you will see him smiling and he ready to hug you and kiss your man, woman, or child, you know. And he was always somebody, so much of love. And that's what we really need, not only in Pan, but throughout. And if it's one thing we need to carry forward is a love, and stop the bickering and the biting. Just be of love. That's all I can say. Thanks.
Come and talk to me now. Come and talk to me. Come. Give me some reflections on Pro. Introduce yourself first and tell me what you remember about Pro.
I am Nandi, and you're on, right? Kind, loving, infectious, very charismatic. You know, anything you could think of good, you're thinking of Ken. You know, always willing to help and to give and to do. You know, all the time, anywhere, anytime. And he'll be sorely missed all the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is? I am what you say, but I will see what it is. They call me Ming in Fonclaire, right? You understand? Ken is a good one, right? I love him as a brother icon. You understand? And he showed me the ropes too, playing me music and thing. A very good, you know, pannist. And here now, when he walking in this yard here in Fonclaire and he see me down in the road here, he needs to bring that joy and that happiness for players and things to show, you know, that music that he have. You understand? And I appreciate him. I will always appreciate him, and I love him. You understand? May God rest his soul. Love him. Right, Hollis? Yeah, respect man. Yeah.
My name is Claude Byron, captain of Panasonic Connection. I'm so sad this day and this night. I wasn't here, I just came back on Saturday. I think Pro helped me came back at this short space of time because it was so sad when I heard that what had happened. In any case, I am here tonight and I will be there Tuesday in the cremation, I'm sure of that. But he did real work with my band. For 4 years, Pro stayed with me. We made the finals 2 years, semi-finals the other 2 years. And then after, well, he went to other bands and it got monotonous. And then I told him, I said, boy, you get too big, you know. You know, he was a top arranger, see. And then we just kind of separate. But I am feeling so sad about this whole thing. Because up to now, people giving... I came in Saturday, and I just asking questions to know what really happened. But they say he was driving, and it had an accident, and they say he dropped asleep or something like that. I don't know the real fact. So I just bearing it out a little bit to see, well, if I could get in terms of how the whole situation going. Yeah. So I'm here, so I just waiting to see what will happen. So that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want to
thank you for all Panasonics.
Sit. Oh, you happening, brother?
All right. Terry Lakatu, bandmen from South, started to play with Olympians, Cavaliers, Gondoliers. Well, I met Pro a long time here through my son, Henricus Lakatu here. And we became such close friends. We used to be together all through the years. And I will tell you something about that gentleman. We'd have a lot of pan men, good pan men, but he was like a rose, because everyone he meet was like a brother. He greet everyone, and he was something special in the pan world to him, because up to Saturday I was with him in the hospital. praying with him and his wife. You know? But thank God, it happened so, but we know he's in a better place, but he was one of the best. Maybe some people say no, it have better arrangers than panmen. Some people might say that. But we are telling you, he was a man for the people. We thank God for his presence on this earth with Fonclaire. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Good night, my name is Sheldon Gibbs. I'm a member of the Fonclaire Steel Orchestra for the past 22 years. Memories are Pro. There's no negative memories of Pro. Pro was always a spirit, always smiling, always making a joke, always laughing, always heart of love. That was one of his favorite statements to make, Sanga Branga. He was a guy that will could bring a smile to any room and a giving spirit to people that he know, people he don't know. And it have few people in the world that have that kind of energy. And wherever he is right now, I know that he is producing excellent stuff, excellent music, excellent vibrations to the rest of the people on the earth right now. And my heart will always be with him, as every other member of the band is right now. Everybody will always have a feeling of goodness within the heart for Ken Professor Fillmore. Thank you.
Roger.
Good night, my name is Roger Chaz, and I am an arranger, soloist, past member of VAT19 Fonclaire, and you could say one of Pro right hand back in the day when he used to move around and arrange for different bands. My first encounter with Professor was at school, Pleasantville Senior Comprehensive. And the guys in the upper Form 5, used to be talking about Professor, and Professor. And I was like, who the hell is this Professor? These fellas talking about this man, who the hell is he? And I couldn't comprehend that at the time. But when Pro came in, because he used to spend some time in New York and then come in, and when Pro came in that day, the aura that man had, the kind of power that man generated, I realized what them fellas was talking about. And from there, we came across the Fonclaire. And that was it. That was to say how Pro was, his character. I mean, everybody said it already. Everybody in the past interview said it. He's one of a kind. One of a kind. And all of us have something. All of us now have something from him in whatever way, something we have in him. He taught us how to dress, he taught us charisma, he taught us decorum, mannerism, respect. He taught us how to treat the instrument. I mean, it was beyond just playing pan for me. It was beyond playing pan. And my life now, if I look back at Professor, I have some traits of him. The man was a wonderful man. And his music, I mean, I can't say what in my heart, but you know, people who met him, people who had that experience with him, you guys know the kind of man Professor was. So basically that is my experience with Professor.
Now, having acquired skills from Pro, how have you been using it outside?
Traveling, arranging, a bit of soloing kind of thing. Not much soloing, but more arranging, composing, and traveling, working on cruise ships, going to Japan, different parts of the world, you know, and it has been wonderful. I kind of living the dream. I can remember it at that time he came in Fonclaire. I wasn't traveling anything yet, and he set standards for all bands in Trinidad. Let me tell you something. He came here, he came at night and we was doing sifting through the notes. One of his pieces. And he asked everybody to solo. I mean, I didn't know nothing about soloing. And that was the first time that most brothers in the band at that time started soloing. And we took up that. And that set a trend that other bands took up. Because other bands wasn't doing that at the time. And when Fonclaire started playing out and people started soloing from different ranges, imagine a bass man soloing, a cello man soloing, other bands took up that. Other bands took up that. So, through Professor, Fonclaire set a standard to go in a particular direction.
Who are some of the guys that you came through Pleasantville with and have been involved in band?
When we came in, it had guys like Ian Beckles, Kenneth Jacob. Those are the guys that's still in pan. And then when we came in, it was myself, Ansel Webb, Wentworth Richardson, Curtis Marcel, Sleepy. After us, you get Blubber, Sheppy, Darren Shepherd. You got Daryl Edwards. You got Sherwin Cooper Weasel, Sean Ramsey, Brent Richardson. So much names.
Liam was before or after you?
That was after me. Liam T came in after. Leon Foster came in after. Leon Foster came in when Ramsey and myself did a festival, arranged a festival song with the band. I wanted an African drummer. And Leon Foster came in. I know him, his family personally. And I told him, I said, look, Leon, I want you to play this part here. And Leon, surprisingly, didn't like pan. Leon didn't like pan. And he was an African drummer. And watch Leon now. Leon is a boss pannist. Yeah. So, we also introduce people in the thing. True Professor. So, basically, that's it in a nutshell for me. I mean, I had a wonderful time, my experience with Professor. And it really sad to see a man like that go. But he left a legacy behind. And we have to carry on that legacy. We in South, North, Trinidad and Tobago have to carry this genius, this man legacy.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Have a fantastic night. Thanks.
And that was Roger Charles, a former student of mine at Pleasantville Senior Comprehensive School.
Okay, good night. You'll be hearing me. Forward, please, so okay, my name is Natalie Gibbs Greenwich, a former member of the band Fonclaire. I would have come to the band, joined the band back in 1995.
Will you please come
I
forward?
played for about 10 years, more roughly, and before I moved on to another
We
band.
are calling on the family.
My fondest memories, about Professor would have been the fact that he was, oh God, I can't even say was, I can't believe I'm saying was, has been the most loving, the most caring, the most pleasant, happiest person to be around. The vibes, he always had that kind of vibes. My last conversation with Professor would have been on Tuesday last week.
Once again,
after the accident, I would have visited him, and I was fortunate enough to have a conversation with him. And
specially invited guests.
He was so happy that I came to look for him on the ward, and he was.
Fans and
he was like, Natalie, I'm a spiritual person,
and the Professor.
He was happy to see me, and he asked me. The last thing he asked me was to come back and check him the afternoon after lunch. Unfortunately, by that time, he ended up having to go to theatre, so I didn't get the opportunity to see him after that. And then now this is the outcome. So there's a hard pill to swallow to even begin to comprehend the fact that he's no longer with us. I don't even know how I'm going to feel when the day comes, much less for the closest family members.
Once again, we're calling on the relatives
Professor,
of Ken,
during
Professor
his time
Philmore,
with Fonclaire,
relatives,
my time with Fonclaire, he has always been a person with that vibes.
Sisters,
He had that
please
remedy to
so
get people in the mood and to get them in that frame of mind to go on stage. When in the days of us, when we had to go up on stage to play for Panorama, or even on the stage side during that time on the stage side. So I am at a loss, to tell you the truth, because I never would have ever believed that we could be at this point now where we are here at the Spaniard celebrating his life, his memory. I can't believe that. I still look at his pictures. All of my WhatsApp pictures since then to now is only about Professor. I cannot come to terms with the fact that he is no longer with us. And that is something that everybody would have to deal with, to cope with, to accept at some point. But definitely, I would say, even though that is the case, his legacy definitely will live on. Every time you hear Pan by Storm, you know it's Professor you're going to be thinking about. Every time you hear any other arrangement that he would have done for the band or any other bands, you would think about Professor. And I hope that they really dedicate next year Panorama to him, to his memory. I could even go a little further than that and challenge the bands as a something to be done in his memory. I would even challenge the bands to make, not just say the Panorama is about him and tribute to him, but to go further than that and challenge the bands to play any one of his Panorama tunes and make that their tune of choice for the Panorama. I would even go further than that to say that. Let's see how the bands do that arrangement in memory of him. I would say so. That would be nice to see. And I think if he were here with us to see that, I think that would make him extremely happy. And I don't know. Other than that, I don't know what to say. I am just so taken aback by the whole thing. I am fortunate. I would still count myself fortunate that I was able to at least be able to see him and talk to him. And I don't know. I don't know what to say again, because I don't know how I myself gonna deal with it when the time comes.
And once again, anyone who
if
is
it's on
interested
Friday,
in performing
I
this
don't know.
evening, please step backstage. Anyone who
And that was my former student at Pleasantville Senior Comprehensive School, who was also tutored by Ken Professor Fillmore.
From the dead. He is seated at the right hand of God the Father Almighty. From thence he shall come to judge the living and the dead. I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Holy Church, the communion of sins, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the body, the life everlasting. Amen. O Michael the Archangel, terror of the devil, destined by the divine goodness to defend us from all the assault of the hour and the hour of death, console us in this dreadful moment. You open and close the gates of heaven at God's command. You hasten to aid the dying and receive their souls at the hour of death. Bear them to the judgment seat of God. We implore you to give our people whom you protect the strength to remain faithful at this hour of trial. Keep us from being afraid of this hour and teach us how to bear ourselves, to meet our God face to face. And we ask that you protect us now and the hour of our death. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespass, as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. I believe in God the Father. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Philip. Good evening, everyone. I'm Cohen Bornier, your host for this evening. A very special good evening. As we gather here at Fonclaire Panyard to celebrate. Ever so often we come here in this Panyard in joyous moment. But this evening is not of that. But at the same time, it's all about celebration. Firstly, we'd like to say condolences to the Philmore family and all relatives. We'd like to say thank you to special guest, fans, supporters, everyone who have gathered here today, we thank you so much to be part of this celebration. The celebration, the life of a steel pan arranger, composer, and pan man extraordinaire. A man who took his passion for a national instrument, the steel pan, across the world. He has done this country and South Trinidad proud. And was a musical giant in Trinidad and Tobago, the US, Europe, and the world. He brought a level of excellence to the art form that could never be duplicated. And his impact on the pan arena has been nothing short of phenomenal. A man who has been synonymous with the words such as joyful, merry, cheerful, jolly, jovial, radiant, blessed. A man who came straight out of Trinidad and Tobago. Folks, since his passing, I've looked at every video and I've never seen the professor serious, always smiling. Always smiling. So ladies and gentlemen, as we come together to celebrate, let's give this hero 1 minute of silence.
To the whole. And let me just say, tonight goes beyond Fonclaire for me. It goes beyond Pan. Ken Professor Philmore's family, the Philmore family, and the Shepherd family was family. And I could make all the links, identify all the links, how Nenny Petra and Louis Shepherd were childhood friends. Auntie Valerie used to be by the house all the time. Uncle Cyril is my sister's Jillian godfather. My mother was Kurt's godmother. And Etlin, my first sister, is Ken's cousin's godmother. Nenny Petra was Etlin's godmother. So this family tight. This family close. So this means more to me than honoring the arranger of Fonclaire. And this space that we're in right now is sacred space. There's sacred ground from now on because that man walk here, he live here, he eat here, he sleep here, you name it. And from the day he came to this band, we know that something special took place. Because he came here to complete music that wasn't his. The song was started by Mr. Rudin Austin, former arranger of Fonclaire. And Rudin had some challenges, and Ken got the opportunity to finish the song. And he got here, and quite humbly, he didn't try to start a new song. He didn't have difficulty with the arrangement that was put down prior. He humbly did the balance of the song. And I remember that night very well. Fonclaire have a way it produces arrangers, it produces soloists, it produces drummers, it produces leaders. And on that night, a lot of the stalwarts, some of them here tonight, they might vex with me. But they walk out the panyard because they were very loyal to Rudin. And it's the young ones like myself stayed and learned the song. And when they recognize, wait now, Professor like he has something, but everybody come back and finish learn the song. But that guy was never fazed by that opportunity. When we were young, our first introduction to jazz music was from Ken. Grover Washington, Bob James, Ralph McDonald. We used to look forward to his return from America. And you know, pro coming weekend, we used to go and buy blank cassettes. Because you would hear the car coming from up on the coffee because the music was loud. And it's Grover Washington and Bob James. And he used to be very excited to share that music with us. And all the soloists from the Southland, whether we want to admit it or not, we patterned our playing from Ken Professor Fillmore. Even after you would have found your identity as a soloist, regardless of what, you would hear it. You cannot mistake it. And his role in particular Pleasantville Senior Comprehensive was a pivotal time because that school produced tons of soloists. Liam Tegg, myself, Roger Charles, Curtis Sleepy Marcel, Sean Ramsey, who has one of the bands in San Fernando that feeds all of the other bands with players. We are all influenced and touched by him in that Pleasantville experience. And we used to look forward. The one time we could have been out of class was when Pro reached, because Mr. Sweet knew that Fonclaire tune used to rarely start in Pleasantville Senior Comprehensive School compound. And when the band started to do well, Mr. Sweet felt like it was a Pleasantville song. So he encouraged it. We was out of class. We was getting free food from the cafeteria because Professor reached and we could practice. This man was loved. And he always show love. Heart of love. That's what he used to say all the time. And an amazing thing happened on Sunday. During the day, I would have put a post on Facebook asking for past and present players to come to the Panyard. And I had a meeting that night. And when I came down to the Panyard, I was shocked. I saw people who I didn't see in years. And we started jam pan by stone. We started pull back music that we ain't playing years. I challenged a couple of them to some fire down below and things, but they couldn't remember. Only Sleepy hold the fort. But I'm saying the music stayed with us. I'll come into Panasonic just now. All right, BB. You know, but this gentleman left a mark on all of us. And it is demonstrated in our arranging. It is demonstrated in our soloing. And he was always dapper. So if you're moving with Pro and you ain't looking right, you're in trouble. You're in serious trouble. The gentleman set the bar for people to be professional with their craft. He set the bar for entertainers and pannists in Trinidad and Tobago as to how they interact with their fans. You could meet Professor anywhere and stop and talk to him. He'll hug you, he'll greet you. And I saying Sunday night when I left the Panyard, a melody was haunting me in my head. And at 3:30 in the morning, my paws raising when I saying it, at 3:30 in the morning, I came up with a melody. Fonclaire, all you have all your song for 2019. And the title of that song is Heart of Love. And we're going to paint the Savannah Philmore on final night. Trust me. Trust me. And the vibe that this situation, although very tragic, has brought to this band, has brought to this community, is demonstrated by everybody who's here tonight. Former President Anthony Carmona, I want to acknowledge him and thank him for coming. I'm trying to get him to sit down, but he don't want to sit down, he wants the line. Of course, former Culture Minister Joan Yule Williams. She was the first person here tonight. She was the first person here tonight. That is support. That is support. Former Mayor Ian Atterley is here somewhere as well. I asked him if he want to talk. He said he don't want to talk. But again, let me thank everybody for coming here to this celebration. The word wake and professor could never go together. This is not a wake. This is a celebration of his life, a celebration of his music, a celebration of his impact to this community and other communities. And all the artists here tonight that's going to perform, we do appreciate it, and I'm sure the family would appreciate it. Thanks for you all for being here. And I want to say before I go, we need to thank his family for allowing him to be who he is, so he could have imparted his knowledge to us. Because while he would have been making personal sacrifices, you all would have made sacrifices for us to have him. So, Brian, Keston, everybody, especially Keston. Keston is part of the Fonclaire family. Even when Professor wasn't arranging in Fonclaire, Keston used to come and play my music. That is significant. So I mean, he has some serious love in him too. So, without further ado, let's start the program. Thanks again for coming in the hall. Thanks again for demonstrating that support for Fonclaire. The entire world wanted to see what's going to happen here tonight. Let me thank WAC up front for coming here, all the media for all the coverage thus far, everybody who would have made pronouncements on social media, supporting and understanding what is family and what the members of the band would have gone through. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. I want to say something? Let me take this opportunity to invite Ken's brother, Brian, to say a few words.
Good night, San Fernando. What could I say concerning Ken that you all would not know? Many of you may not know that Ken had a brother. Ken had a brother? Because you will not have seen me here as often, but we grew up on these streets. I could not come here and not say a few words on his behalf. Ken was a very humble guy. Even though he showed his love in many different ways, there's a side of him that you all would not have seen, that we saw at home. Ken loved Fonclaire. Ken loved San Fernando. Ken loved steel pan. Many of you will not have seen him for the past week, and I want you all to know that Ken did fight to stay with you all. He fought for 1 week. We were there supporting him. We were hopeful. Just when hope started to come up, he lost the fight. But he tried to stay with us. What I want to tell you all tonight is that Ken, love will stay with you always. That energy that he always would present himself with, that are one love. You know his presentation. And to tell you certain things that Ken kept quietly in his heart, that he would release only to his family. And you are now his extended family. What irked Ken the most to present to this band and bothered him the most was that one point half a point, sorry. And I want to send the message to the judges that you did my brother an injustice, because that was Fonclaire's year. And in our heart, we know that was Fonclaire's year. And I'm sorry he left this plane of existence as the only arranger that never won a panorama. And let me tell you, I was there when Ken picked up his first pan stick at 15 years old. And he taught himself that instrument by ear. Ken had a gift from God. And he tried to extend that to everyone else. Ken will live in our hearts forever. And that Pan by Storm was the time that he should have made his mark in the industry. And at the quiet times, he would talk about it all the time. Even when I mentioned, when people realized my last name, even without me saying anything, "You're Philmore? Pan by Storm boy." We have been battling a north-south battle from inception for too long. For too long, and that bothered Ken. He used to cry and says, maybe it's the way I look, or maybe from where I'm from. These are the little things that y'all would not have seen in Ken when he went home. But Ken cried for all of you that he was not able to deliver that glorious year. Because I have been running into people saying maybe it's the arranger and maybe it's his style and whatnot. And I don't know what the reasons are, but Ken, I'm telling you, tried his best because that was important to hear. One of the visions that Ken also had that he may not have shared with you, and I want to extend it now. And I was hoping that he would have survived his injuries so that we could pursue it. Ken was a very good teacher. He taught in Pleasantville Senior Secondary School. I was with him in the United States with senators. He goes down in history as the most won panoramas in Labor Day with senators. And Ken's vision, along with his mother, was that he would open a school for pan. And we would argue constantly about him getting up and rising to do something about it. The argument also came when Miss Joan Williams was culture minister. And Calypsonian Legaton was involved. And his cousin Vernon Maramsey was in Trinbago. And I told Ken, this is your time to get these things done because you may have the support then. Some of you all are in the audience now, and we argued all the time. If Ken were to leave, he already left a legacy. But if he were to leave a mark on society or a tribute to him, I would really like to see or us pursue a school for steel pan to teach the young ones what Ken left behind. The country is dying from lack of arrangers. Arrangers are leaving us and we have no new ones being created. And we need to have pan treated as the national instrument for Trinidad and Tobago. Too long, Ken and I argued that right after Carnival is reggae music. And that was one of his problems, that right after Carnival, there was no Carnival. and we did nothing about it. And everything was dead. So he did not want to do any more. So as we press on, as we move forward, I would be soliciting support to see if we could formulate and establish a foundation for Ken Professor Fillmore. Too many times people make a mark in this society and by next week it is all forgotten. These were his wishes that he had his fear of pursuing because of the way people looked at Pan after those 2 days in the year that took 6 months to prepare for. So Ken had his issues with the way the instrument was treated, the way some government looked at it, and for him to move forward to do more for you and for the country. And as I said, I hope he would have survived so that we could have pursued these things. So I want to thank you for having us here tonight and for introducing myself to you. I'm sorry that we have to meet under these circumstances. And I want to tell you that Ken's spirit will live on in the hearts, minds, and souls of each and every one of us. Please do not forget him. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to acknowledge Mrs. Philmore. Put your hands together. We thank you so much for your support, ladies and gentlemen. So San Fernando, His Worship, Junior Regallo.
Good evening, everyone. We are here today to celebrate the life of somebody who made significant contribution to San Fernando and the art form. And I'm getting the buzz outside that we need to hear Pan tonight. And we want to hear what? Pan by Storm? And what comes with it. So let us celebrate this life and celebrate the contribution made to this man, by this man, to San Fernando, who was a shining example and set a tone and a pattern for young arrangers as we move forward. We're here to show love, and that's what it's about. So I think it's good to see the whole of San Fernando and the Pan fraternity here this evening, and I'm very to show what it's about. And it took a personality like Ken Fillmore to bring all of us here together at this very critical time as the Pan movement is faced with turbulence and all sorts of problems. And let's take an example out of his life and the contribution made by him. And you look forward. So what you're seeing here is just love by everybody. Forget the two differences that we had in the past, but they do some healing and bring some love. So I really want to, on behalf of the city of San Fernando, welcome our guests from abroad, from outside and abroad, and let's celebrate the life and times and contribution by Ken Fillmore. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Worship. It's very amazing, though. In Trinidad and Tobago, we all have a tendency, I might be guilty as well, we all have a tendency is only when someone passes, we acknowledge how great they are. Yes? It is certainly a sad thing indeed in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's hope that as of today, this will change. We'd like to call Mr. Peter Telfer of the Moyasi Drummers. Put your hands together and welcome Mr. Peter Telfer.
A call to praise, O Creator, loving and tender. Praise him, love him, thank him forever and ever. Oh Creator, loving and tender. Praise him, love him, thank him forever and ever. Trinidad and Tobago, Ken Fillmore. That's what I want. Oh Creator, loving and tender, praise him, love him, thank him forever and ever. So we thank you, Lord, for this moment is a sacred moment. This is God moment. It is God who made me Professor Ken, who blessed him with his gift. It's not nobody. He didn't buy it in a store. Ken Fillmore is more because of Creator, the Creator. And his gift lives on in each one of us, the children, on this sacred ground from our ancestors. Who the band, the drum, and from the drum came the pan, and from the pan came the fun, and from the fun made it clear. Fonclaire, Fonclaire. Oh, Creator, oh, loving and tender. Praise him, love him, thank him forever and ever. No matter how dark the darkness, no bandit is greater than the light. No bandit greater than the steel pan, or the drum, or the rhythm. Oh, us Trinidadians, oh, Philmore, can teach them forever. You didn't go and leave us behind. You left us something divine, the pan, your smile, your swagger, and your fancy hat forever. Oh, we thank you, Creator, for Ken Fillmore. Oh, Creator, loving and tender, loving and tender. Praise him, love him, thank him forever and ever and ever and ever. This is sacred ground, a sacred moment. Many are called, many are chosen, few are chosen, and the rest toying out. The power of Ken must not be wasted. If we had to celebrate his life, as I look and walking down and see all the young people, to his wife and family, and what Ken says, that light greater than darkness. Let us let that live on. I hear we saying, well, we need to have the government. We is the government. Because where pan come and drum come, government wasn't there. We ancestors was there. You are powerful and you are greater because of the Creator. Ken, Professor Philmore, never waited on anybody. When kids had called him, anytime he was on a show or practice and he had to meet the minister, he said, the minister ready for me? Always respect. Talent is from God. Your attitude is from you. Make a difference. As all of this is old talk, but let me celebrate his life by each of us committing to make Trinidad and Tobago beautiful. Let's claim back our children. Let's claim back our men. Thank you, ma'am, for his life. Thank you, family. Mr. Mayor, Madam Minister, all those who are here. And on behalf of the former, our present minister and the former minister and all of those of culture, God has blessed your gift. Shine on. Oh, Creator, loving and tender, may He rest in peace forever and live on in us forever. God bless you for Mawasi experience. Peter, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Telfer, here this evening. And according to some statements earlier on by the assistant manager of Fonclaire, Mr. Shepherd, next year, 2019, is going to be a new chapter for Fonclaire. Hopefully that everybody out here will come out and support Fonclaire for 2019. Yes. So we're getting ready to celebrate the General, Ken Professor Fillmore. I'm not sure if you guys heard of a new track from Anselm Douglas and Carl Jacobs about the General. What a song. So it's time to celebrate. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome on stage Commander Ras Commander.
Check 1 2 1 2. San Fernando, let me hear you say yeah, yeah. Things in the name of His Imperial Majesty, my God and King, Jah Rastafari. Deepest condolences to the Philmore family and to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. On behalf of the Trinbago Unified Calypsonians Organization, I want to extend our deepest condolences on behalf of the President, Lutaloma Simba, and the General Council. May the brethren rest in peace. The national anthem, run it. I want to hear all the voices because we're celebrating tonight. San Fernando, you know we could sing and we're on TV. Trinidad is my land, and of it I am proud and glad. But I can't understand why some people just talk it bad. For I know all of them will run in the mouth. Don't know what they're talking about. They will paint your black every day, and the right things they would never say. Like our sportsmen being rated amongst the best. Our scholars have sit and passed every test. I put us right alongside the rest. And then our pitch lake is the greatest one of its kind. Our sugar and oil is really refined. So you see, friends, this is a real King Solomon's mind. I want to hear the voices. They just talk some nonsense. Me and know what they're doing it for. About so much violence, man, you go swear that they're fighting war. We have with delinquents to face, but just like any other place, man, the thing they just say about here is really too much for me to bear. Because my people are daily making progress without any form of foolishness. And in this way we must gain success. Yes, for when we move in, we all move as one body. No bickering between you and me. And our policy stands for racial equality. So when a stranger spending a little time in this lovely isle, every day you see him like he always have a happy smile. And when his time has come to depart, he will say with pride in heart, I'll be. And if I can't come, I will send it. And let me tell you, he really wants her to come to drink some rum and have plenty fun in this great island in the sun. Yes, for Trinidad, as foreigners will recall, it doesn't matter whether big or small, or if you're rich or poor, man, we cater for one and all. So all of them we're talking, they either drunk or they real loco. Or maybe they forgetting Philmore born right here in San Fernando. We have men with talent and skill and high hope of improving still. And if you think all this is a lie, well, tonight me and Fonclaire go tell you why. Because my steel pan is still the best talent in the world. My calypsos or stories are told with rhythm that could soothe your soul. Yes, for Trinidad, this lovely land of my birth, small but overwhelming in words. And as you know, San Fernando is the greatest city on earth. Outside, Father, ting, 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 ting. Balabade la da 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 doy. Balabade la da 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 doy. Eh, la da da doy. La da da da. I hear a sweet pan boy. I hear a sweet pan boy. Make some noise, San Fernando. Say yeah, yeah. Well, Mr. Shepherd said the song next year is Heart and Love. But I feel I go write one named Half a Point. And I go beat that Heart and Love. I feel I go do a half a point. Right, so we're doing the thing properly. Let me tell you something, San Fernando youth. Two things artists like. It's a real artist coming here tonight. Two things we like. Big, big money and loud applause. Tonight I have no big money. So you know what we want. Run tune. I'm dedicating this one to all the people in the pan fraternity tonight. Philmore was my family because I's Calypso and he's pan. Hey! I seen a North Stand getting on bad over there, boy. That North Stand getting bad. Just now, hors d'oeuvres coming. Hors d'oeuvres coming just now. What I want to know, why some Trinbagonians hate the local culture so? What I want to know, why some Trinbagonians hate the local culture so? Say some of them may have no reason. Oh, Melado, they hate with music like poison. But what it is does make me ball. Some of them don't like calypsos at all. So you think you could go in Jamaica and say you like reggae? You mad, oh, Melad, brother. Jam down have more reggae than Trinidad. Oh Lord, why neglect your culture? You're making me feel sad, oh my lad. Calypso and steel band is the culture of Trinidad. Lord, play music, cat, play music, cat. I really don't like to complain, but I can't understand the way they just treat some of we Calypsonian. As you make a mistake whatsoever, they want to send you to jail, Don Carrera. Doing that subconsciously, forgetting we don't help promote TNT. So you think we could go into Cuba and say we have sugar? You mad, oh, Melachista. Cuba have more sugar than Trinidad. Oh Lord, why neglect your culture, San Fernando? You're making me feel sad. Calypso and steel band is the culture of Trinidad. I love you. It's a real entertainer to come. This is Ras Commander signing out. Long live Ken Professor Philmore. When they write in the book, they can't leave him out at all. I love you, San Fernando. Respect.
Yeah. Put your hands together once again for Ras Commander. Or should I say Commander? He has no Ras anymore.
Watch now. That is another story. We go do that next week when I come home.
So, ladies and gentlemen, since the passing of Professor, I have some notes here about a question. Anybody know how Professor got his name? Well, you know. But I tell you what, though, I've been having regular conversations since his passing. And one suggestion, saying that we have His Worship, the Mayor of San Fernando, the person told me today if I can make a special request. And that special request for the San Fernando City Corporation to fly the flag half-mast for Professor Ken Fillmore. So people of San Fernando, he right here. So I ask it loud and clear, all right? All right, so when you're passing by City Hall, look for the flag flying half. That's right.
So shall it be written, so shall it be done.
So ladies and gentlemen, this promises to be a quite special gathering here, all celebrating for Professor Ken Fillmore. So our next guest on stage, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome Mr. Joseph Lett.
A pleasant night to the family, everyone. I'm from Point 14, and I came to San Fernando a few years ago, and that is 50 years. 50 years, I met this little guy 50 years ago. I would like to meet somebody who went, otherwise not the family, I mean meet the family, that went to school with him in primary school. Because this guy came by Tanti Mara. Anybody know about Tanti Mara? Tanti Mara, the corner of Drayton and the Coffee. Tanti Maria. He was about between 8 to 10 years. And this guy came and we got a connection. And the rest is history. But he was with by Antillean All-Stars. And Tanti Maria want to know who is this guy. In the Panyard, he was about between 8 and 9 years. That's why I say I have to check out the primary school. And I've never left Point, but it's 50 years. And do you know that Ken Professor Philmore was a spiritual person? Don't take this for granted. Don't take this for granted. So I'm representing the spiritual aspect of Ken Professor Philmore. especially for the family. Thank you.
Four.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Joseph Lett. And as we celebrate, of course, we must take some time to pay homage to the Supreme Being. We continue with the celebration, folks. And while we await for our next artist, I ask you a question with respect to how did Ken got the name Professor? Some people may know it and others don't. Well, according to the information here, On one of his early visits to the Panyard, a member jokingly remarked, "Who is this young kid with these old-fashioned glasses?" Referring to his bone-rimmed spectacles, he looks more like a professor than a pan player. He proved them wrong, right? The other part of the story traces Ken's first year with Hatters when he was selected to tour with the band to the USA. It was during this tour, recalls Bigger, a founder member of the band, that Ken used to talk so much about all kinds of things that he got fed up with the chatter at times. It was from that they started to call him Pro. We celebrating the life of the Professor, Ken, Professor Philmore, ladies and gentlemen. San Fernando. We're waking it up, man. Celebration time here now. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for our next artist. Please welcome Lal G.
Good evening, good evening. Condolences to the family of Professor Ken Fillmore. Ken and I myself met a few years ago, and we performed so many places together. You know, it's a part of my life that has been gone. So I want to say kudos to all the people who have been here from the government, the former president, Mr. Anthony Kamona. And this is one of the songs that Ken always loved me to do together with him. We were supposed to perform next month, or this month really, at Vitalis in Pinal. And when I heard that, so to all of you who have been here, this is a song I did in 1980. So I'm giving this to you guys again. And I'm a South boy. I know about Hatters, I know about Fonclaire, I know about everybody. So go ahead, my brother. This is a song that Tony Wilson produced in 1980. Just going to give you a different version of the song. Yeah, back in the morning I stared out the window and I struggled with something to say. You left in the rain without closing the door. I didn't stand in your way. Now I missed you more than I missed you before, and now where I'll find comfort, God knows, 'cause you left me just when I needed you most. You left me just when I needed you most. Now most every morning I stared out the window and I think about where you might be. I've written your letters that I'd like to send, if you could send one to me. Now I need you more than I needed before, and now where I find comfort, God knows, 'cause you left me just when I needed you most, baby. You left me just when I needed you most. Come on, everyone. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na. This is for Ken. Na 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 na. La Rest in peace, my brother. You know you packed in the morning, I stared out the window and I struggled with something to say. You left in the rain without closing the door, but I didn't stand in your way. Now I need you more than I needed before, and now where I find comfort only God knows. 'Cause you left me just when I needed you most, baby. You left me, girl, just when I needed you most. Oh, now you left me, girl, just when I needed you most. That's for Ken and your family. God bless.
Yeah. Mr. Lal G, ladies and gentlemen, hey, this is not a wake, people. This is a celebration. Come on, we could do better than that, man. Let us perform in Skinner Park. So I know we San Fernando people, all right? We appreciate everybody coming out here tonight. We thank you so much to be part of this celebration for our own brother, the professor, man. So we're moving along. So get ready for a young artist, and we must include the young people, because the professor was very passionate about his support for the young people of Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen. So put your hands together and welcome on stage Mr. Elon Chatterpole. San Fernando, come on everybody! Hey! Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, folks, this is the son of the deceased Chatter Paul. You know, remember him? Yeah, man. So, folks, we just heading higher and higher. We just want the vibes continue going higher and higher. No crying or anything. It's all about celebration, all right? Yeah, man. So we're getting ready for our next performer on stage. I want you to put your hands together. No stranger to the Pan fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together and welcome on stage, Showin Cooper. This is the man who found the pan. The man who found the pan.
Part and love. We're doing pro style, you going on?
So we want to see everybody enjoying themselves and celebrating.
but definitely not forgotten. All right? Love. Love.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a man who has impacted so many people throughout the world because of his marvelous talent. A talent that has been of 4. So, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the program here this evening to celebrate the life of the professor. A band by the name of Professor Brothers. Of this man who has performed throughout the world. The likes of Blues Alley in Washington, D.C., Carnegie Hall in New York City, the Brooklyn Academy of Music in Brooklyn, Madison Square Garden in New York, the Hollywood Bowl in Hollywood. He appeared as a special guest with Mercer Ellington, son of Duke Ellington, and was featured on the title cut of Ellington's album. He also appeared in concert with the world-renowned Latin American musician Tito Puente. His performing schedule constantly took him back and forth between the USA and Trinidad. Professor, ladies and gentlemen, has performed and recorded with a number of international artists, the likes of Ella Fitzgerald, Phyllis Hyman, Nancy Wilson, Andy Narell, Ralph MacDonald, George Howard, and jazz great Lionel Hampton, ladies and gentlemen, just to name a few. So, San Fernando, put your hands together and welcome on stage. Just now, we have no time for that sound.
Hey, Zion, Zion, oh, yeah. I mean, when my power come down from glory. Hey, Zion, oh, Zion, oh. Hey, my power come down from glory. Hey, Zion, oh, yeah. When my power come down from glory. Hey, Zion, oh. Hey, when my power come down from glory. Hey, Zion, oh, Zion, oh, yeah. When my power come down from glory. When Jesus call me, I will answer, I will answer too. I will answer, laugh with. When Jesus called me, answer to his name. Call me, answer to his name. 'Cause he is somewhere he lives, even in my home. New love.
We are going, heaven know where we are going. Calypso time.
Yeah. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Professor Brothers.
Watch it. We now start or we now done?
On the drive of PCB.
I want to do one song for Ken Professor Fillmore. Ken Professor Fillmore and myself went to San Fernando Boys School on Rushwood Street in San Fernando. Right, that's my school. Right? It is not easy to stand before a class and teach. Now I teach art at the Disabled Center for Young People at the back of Royal Bank in San Fernando. And that is not easy. My paws raised tonight when I heard the General Secretary of Fonclaire mentioned that Ken loved to teach people. And that's what I love to do. Right? Now, I wrote a song, and now, forgive me tonight because, you know, I really feel kind of sad at his passing. But I was wondering what could I sing that would be very appropriate. But the song, my cousin wrote this song about 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, somewhere there. And I have been singing it for the past, 7, 8 years. So tonight, I want to dedicate that song to Ken Professor Fillmore. I don't want to run. They say that they wanted to beat me. What they would I do if they didn't meet me when I see them on the street? I beat out a hasty retreat. I didn't know that the foot could have moved so. They started to move from the word go. I take off just like I too fast, fast for so. I don't wanna run. I don't wanna run no more. I don't wanna run. What the hell are running for? I don't wanna run. I don't wanna run no more. I don't wanna run. What the hell are running for? They say that they wanted to see me. I know for sure that they would have killed me when I hear that the word was out. How they say that I run up my mouth, but in a crowd they trying to test me. One by one they won't approach me for me to put one of them in the cemetery. Fast, fast, for so I don't wanna run. I don't wanna run no more. I don't wanna run. What the hell are running for? I don't wanna run. I don't wanna run no more. I don't wanna run. What the hell are running for? My son say they down by the corner, and if I pass, I'd be a goner. So I jump the wall in the back, and I run down the railroad track. Them boys had a gun and a cutlass. Say they come out to give me a cutlass, but I find that they fast, 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 fast for so. I don't wanna run.
I could clear my bloody name fast, fast, for so I don't wanna run. I don't wanna run no more. I don't wanna run. What the hell am I running for? I don't wanna run. I don't wanna run no more. I don't wanna run. What the hell am I running for? What the hell am I running for? What the hell am I running for? I don't wanna run. I don't wanna run no more. I don't wanna run. What the hell am I running for? What the hell am I running for? I don't wanna run. Running for? I don't wanna run. I don't wanna run no more. I don't wanna run. What the hell am I running for?
Yeah. Put your hands together once again for Wayne as we continue the celebration right here at Fonclaire Panyard. We acknowledge all those who came out in the large numbers, all the steel band members. And once again, the driver of PCB 62. And welcome on stage, Mr. Derek Ayanga.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. First, I would like to acknowledge Sophie. Accept my sympathy, Kennedy. Good night, Mr. Komona, Mr. Junior Grello, and all the Fonclaire people, members, everybody in the whole San Fernando. Thanks for coming through. Send all my condolences to the people who grieving on Ken's passing. It's a sad time for us. And I must say something before I play, because I know Ken for a very, very long time. I used to watch him at 7 years old on Broadway. I learned to play drums with Arawaks. Them same guys who here, those are seniors to me. I come up from underneath those guys, playing drums. And I used to watch Ken on top that float. My father carried me in the park. We watching Ken. Every float come around, Ken on the float. And I used to always wish and want to be some kind of drummer or some kind of pan man. Today, this is my profession. I mind my family with this. Just like Ken. Everything I have from my house to my jockey shorts, there's with. We live pan. Respect on that. So I want to do a song as Sheppy endorsed tonight. Know him loving Mr. Grover Washington. And this song, few of you may know it. But this one, I always hear him play it, and I will try to do a little justice to it. This one is Wine Light from Mr. Grover Washington. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. And folks, Pro had a passion for jazz. 93, Washington, D.C. Pan Jazz Festival. 92, 93, St. Croix Jazz Festival. In 1993, Atlanta Jazz Festival. 1997, Barbados Jazz Festival. And according to Reverend Philip, he also performed at the Apollo Theatre in Harlem. So this man was well recognized, not only the Caribbean and Trinidad and Tobago, but the world. You're talking about world exposure. Ken Professor Fillmore. All the members of Fonclaire, please assemble backstage, please. All members of Fonclaire, you're asked to assemble backstage, please. PD H11, your lights are on. Please check your vehicle now. All members of Fonclaire, you're asked to assemble backstage. We continue with the celebration, folks. Put your hands together and welcome Atiba and Nubia Williams.
Advocate, steel band lover, music educator, Atiba Williams, pan prodigy, genius, musical genius. The pan man, the backbone, the vision. The pan man, the backbone, the vision. Ken Professor Philmore, a visionary, a true music man, a student of pan history, a talented arranger, a man unapologetically black, a man of the people, a great showman, an exuberant spirit, an enormous heart of boundless love, a man of the spirit, a loving husband, a loving father, an international advocate of pan. What is a pan man? That is a pan man. What is a pan man? That is a Ken Professor Philmore, an icon of pan, son and father of Fonclaire. Having grown up in a musical family, I was always a person greatly moved by music. My father made my first steel pan, a low tenor with the F sharp in the middle. Coincidentally, the same style Professor used to play. I first met Professor as a student attending secondary school. He embraced and encouraged me in those early days as a fellow musician. When I moved on to secondary school, Pleasantville Senior Comprehensive School, to pursue my A-levels, we met again. This was his community school. He adopted this school, regularly lending his services to our steel band and the wider community. Professor would light up at the sight of the band. He was always willing to give guidance, lend his assistance, and provide leadership wherever needed, whenever needed. Professor trained, arranged, and took the band to many music festivals and competitions. This was my Renaissance experience. This was in a time of Meshan, Louis Regis, and Rolemi, the wonder years. Professor nurtured many brilliant musicians who would go on to be world-class performers, arrangers, and pannists. Darren Shepherd, Curtis Sleepy Marcel, Wentworth, Webb, and Ollie Webbs, Joseph Reed, Chiney, Liam Teague, Liam Tegg. That's how we know him. Roger Charles, Schwab Ramsey, Ken Fillmore, and many, many, many more. When I needed a pan to perform as a soloist, Professor would volunteer for years to loan me his personal steel pan. Imagine that. Imagine that. A pan man lending somebody their personal beloved instrument. Who does that? Professor did that. Professor did that. Professor did that. Who did that? Ken Professor Philmore did that. That was Professor. His most prominent characteristic was his enthusiastic love, which seemed to just pour out of him spontaneously. He was never selfish with his time, his talent, or his treasure. Never asking or expecting a favor in return. He was always an example of generosity and love. As we remember and celebrate his life, we vow to honor the heroes of our past, preserve our present, and prioritize our future. Play eternally with the angels. Ken Professor Philmore, the world you left behind will cherish you forever. Thank you.
Once again, put your hands together for Atiba and Nubia Williams. Atiba started playing pan at a tender age of just 3 years of age. Once again, we'd like to thank 18 months old, my correction. Once again, we'd like to thank the steel band members who came out in their numbers to support this special occasion here, all in celebration of the professor. We are calling on Elon Chatterpaul. Please check the band, Fonclaire. Elon. So we're moving along, friends. We like to welcome on stage a man who was given this name by the late professor, the Raja of Pan. Put your hands together and welcome on stage Mr. Raul Motilal. Thank you, the Raja of Pond, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Roy Motilal. Our next performer is no stranger to San Fernando, no stranger to the Calypso fraternity. He has become a household name throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome on stage Abebele.
Good night. Everybody going now? Good night. We here to celebrate our life, all in that. All you know, the fella was full of vigor, vitality, and energy. So we lost the best pan ambassador we could ever find. Sando, make some noise. To do this right, all you had to clap hand and get married him. Hey, pom pom puree, pom pom puree. Hey, hey, pom pom puree, pom pom puree. Well, by now you know this cause. Celebrate the life of Ken Fillmore. San Fernando born and bred. On the band the man was dread. But a real ambassador, I sure you know that one for sure. So now don't make me fuss. Let me hear voices in the chorus. Pom pom, pom pom, pom pom. Eh. And I know you will agree. Back at the band internationally, Carnegie and Madison Square will agree. Down at the Apollo, I sure by now everyone know this one is a worthy cause. For Ken, I want a round of applause. Pom pom, pom pom, hey hey pom pom. Well well, hey hey hey, play his skill all through Pleasantville. Father stand up like a wall, throw away the pan and all. But that didn't keep him back. What I say as a matter of fact, all over universally, spread the culture TNT. What? Pum. Hey, hey, pum, pum. Well, well, I am sure you will agree when he represent TNT, because it 10 of us. Ask the prophet as he see first. You mightn't make him out, but you know the man from South. If I talk, you could remember. I'm talking about Mr. Carmona. Pum pum, pum pum, hey hey pum pum. Well well, they say it was robbery in 90, but after was pan ecstasy. Bring pan in the party. I am sure you will agree. So now in our memory, he will stay constantly. Hey, make a little noise some more. Make some noise for Ken Fillmore. Pum pum, pum pum, hey hey pum pum. Well well, I am sure you couldn't find a better pan ambassador. Anywhere the flags unfurl, touring throughout the world. But it's not a hard slap, putting TNT on the map. Who did that for sure? The fella we know as Ken Fillmore. Pum pum, pum pum, pum pum. A date I'll always remember, the 23rd of September. You know the vibe was really sweet, right on Drayton Street. Just in case you didn't know, Philmore, me and Crow, boy was agony. You know we lime until 3. Pum pum, pum pum. Well well, pum pum. I mean to cause no strife if we celebrating Ken life. Don't find a moving bowl. You can clap with your 2 and full. Clap your hand and let we sing. It's a life we celebrating. Hey, this one for sure. Celebrate the life of the professor. Pum pum, pum pum. Hey hey pum pum. Well well, I don't know if I'm going wrong. Just in case you like this song, sing a little louder for this life that we celebrate, partner. But they're going to say along because I'm singing this song real long. So now before I burst, let me hear before the next verse. Well, well. On my left one, I can see a paparazzi taking pictures of me. I hope for me he saved one copy, but it was a total delight. Please enjoy the rest of the night. Make sure it ain't no strife. Let we celebrate Professor's life. Pum pum, pum pum. Well, well, pum pum. Arranger pannist extraordinary. You can hear about him anywhere. All in the Apollo, the man represent we just so. But tonight is a night that must be a total delight. I don't want to start the fuss. Let me hear your voices sing the chorus. Pum pum. Because the man show the passion and affection for the pan. This represent using the national instrument. So I feel it's a worthy cause. Once more I need a round of applause. Being here was a total delight. Please enjoy the rest of the night. What? Pum pum.
A baby lay. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a baby lay. Before we welcome on stage Professor Pan family, we like to invite his brother, Brian Philmore, to inform you of the funeral arrangements.
Thank you. We'd like you all to forgive us for the conflicting information concerning the funeral arrangements. We were trying to negotiate a befitting venue so that you all will be included in celebrating Ken's life and memory. Confirmed is that there's a viewing at Guide's Funeral Home between 5:12 and 5 p.m. on Thursday, this coming Thursday. And there will be a ceremony at Sapa Friday morning, 10 a.m. for all of you. A venue befitting to parking as much as can hold, where people would be able to make announcements similar to what is here, play their instruments, and relay how they felt about Professor and give their final farewells to him. On behalf of his wife, his daughter, Okay, remember it's a funeral. It would be, parking would be at the second class ground, Skinner Park. Okay? And on behalf of his wife, his daughter, our relatives, his son Clifton, and myself, I would like to thank all of you for celebrating, inviting us to celebrate along with you. And that this is not the end, it's just the beginning. You would see me a lot more often. And I want you to keep Professor's love within you that he extended to all of you, and remember him as vibrant as he was in life, just as in spirit. Thank you again, and hope to see all of you in celebrating him further later on this week. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Ken, Professor Philmore was undoubtedly one of the most talented pannists who came from South Trinidad. He first played with Hatters and later moved to Calamo Kings in 1977, and then to Gay Oitonians before he finally settled with Fernandez VAT 19 Fonclaire Steel Orchestra in 1981. Professor did his first album in 1985 with Pan Assembly and assisted Fonclaire in no small way in reaching a joint 6th place with his arrangement of Pan in A minor. This association with Fonclaire enabled the band to be joint winners in 1988 with Deltones and to win the South Zone of Panorama for the next 4 years, and the rest is history, folks. Ken, Professor Philmore, his Span family, put your hands together and welcome Fonclaire, NLCB Fonclaire. And of course, we invite the members who participated in Pan by Storm, who are present here, to come backstage to lend their services.
rendition of the general who passed away.
Good night. My name is Wendy Gibbs. Hi, good night. My name is Wendy Gibbs. Just want to give a little reflection on Ken Professor Fillmore, who I have known for over, let's say about 45 years. We have been friends since we were about 15, 16, 17. Some of us were hanging out as young people together. Young people that really looked out for each other at that point in time of our lives. Never flinching actually on his responsibility as a friend. Even though we got married and separated and went our separate ways, we were able to keep that camaraderie together. We were able to keep that camaraderie together. We were able, when we meet at some point in time, we were able to just that hug, that smile, that infectious smile that Ken has, and to me, he will always have. He has gone to eternity. He has gone to meet his brother, who was also my friend. So in a way, I've lost two friends from the same family. His parents, God bless them for giving us a son that really took the culture of Pan to higher heights, and let's just give God all his grace.
Final respect to one another. A final salute. Hey, boy, you try your big sleep. To meet again, and know we shall. We'll cross that river, yeah. And that is the truth. But a general goal, it's a general goal. A general goal. It must go on and on and on. Look, a general goal. A general goal. It's a general goal. Money battle, it must go on. It must go on and on and on. It must go on. It must go on. A general goal. A general goal. Many battles fought and victories won in the name of one master, conquering all and still to conquer. In the heat of battle, good soldiers fought. Struggle must go on. So you boy blow, and drummer boy you roll your drum. As the saying goes, by the speech you shall know them, and every seed became a blossoming tree. So Lord, good soldier, we gon' miss you, but don't miss me. We'll all break ranks one day. Watch and you'll see a general call, a general call, a general call, a general call. It must go on and on and on. Look, a general call. A general goal, a general goal, a general goal. Nobody battle, you must go.
Fonclaire members to assemble. The Fonclaire members to assemble once again.
are the original Shaka Zulu. Hey, it's a love. Love for the song. Love for you.